racing next from the National Car Rental Racehorse Digest. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Metters. Welcome to the Racehorse Digest. We have a busy show that takes us from Hollywood Park through Ruidoso Downs, up to Arlington, over to Belmont, and even to Delaware Park. But we start with a sad note. Last week, one of thoroughbred racing's most influential owners in the decade of the 90s lost his battle with cancer. Chris Lincoln takes a look back at the life of Alan Paulson. From fast planes to fast horses, he leaves quite a legacy.
Few men in life soared higher than Alan E. Paulson. From his Gulfstream private jets to his accomplishments in the sport of kings. A self-made man from Clinton, Iowa, Alan was on his own by the time he was 13. At 15, he made his way to Northern California, got through high school, and then took a job with TWA Airlines for 30 cents an hour. From apprentice mechanic to pilot to aircraft designer, by age 56, he had created Gulfstream Aerospace Corporation. He became one of the world's most prominent and successful businessmen, setting numerous world speed records as a pilot, receiving 5 honorary doctorates, countless awards, and was friends with every president from Dwight Eisenhower to Bill Clinton. In 1983, Paulson turned his interest to thoroughbred racehorses, and his red, white, and blue silks became famous the world over. Paulson owned and/or bred horses that would win a record 7 Breeders' Cup races. Along with the championships his horses earned, Alan was honored with 4 Eclipse Awards. Paulson's brightest equine star was Cigar, the 1995 and 1996 Horse of the Year. A racehorse that, just like his owner and breeder, outraced his pedigree to become a world champion and the sport's all-time leading money earner at just under $10 million. Alan Paulson had an unmatched love and passion for his wife Madeline and family. His racehorses, his big white poodles, and his airplanes. He was by every measure a success, a winner, and someone who will be missed and remembered by those who had the privilege to know him.
Our deepest condolences go to the Paulson family. In Los Angeles on Sunday, the second half of the year got underway for the 3-year-olds. A 6-horse field went to the post in the $500,000 Grade 1 Swap Stakes. It would be a battle of experience versus the late bloomers. Here's the field with the final odds presented by Las Vegas. The 1 horse is Tiz Now, the full brother to Bud Royale, is coming off a win in the Affirmed. Melancholy is trained by Dwayne Lucas. The Hall of Famer has won this race a record 4 times. Captain Steve comes in as the most campaigned horse in the field. This will be his 15th start. He is the lone 3-year-old star for trainer Bob Baffert. Gray Memo is trained by 79-year-old Warren Studi, who still occasionally gallops some horses. The jockey will be Hall of Famer Eddie Delahousse. Spicy Stuff is the second entry from Bob Baffert, and Space Link rounds out the field. He's trained by Paco Gonzalez and owned by Trudy McCaffrey and John Toffin. His rider, Chris McCarron, has made a record 5 trips to the winner's circle in the swaps. And now for the call of the swaps, here's the voice of Hollywood Park, Chris Katulak.
A half-mile to run in the swap stakes, and Melancholy is the one to catch. Captain Steve is just second. Along the inside, Tiz Now just screaming out for racing room. Then to the outside, Spicy Stuff, he advances up third. Tiz Now in the pink, all dressed up with nowhere to go. Space Link is still racing along about 4 from the front. Captain Steve goes up to the front. It's Captain Steve to get ahead in front. Melancholy still right there in second. After that, Spicy Stuff. Tiz Now trying to get some racing room. At the top of the stretch, here comes Tiz Now. He means business. Out of the turn into the stretch. Captain Steve. Tiz Now to the outside, goes to him. Melancholy slips back at the rail, but Captain Steve is ultra tough through the lane, and Captain Steve just shrugged off Tiz Now. Melancholy third, then Space Link and Gray Memo. They're at the 16th pole, and it's time to salute the captain. Captain Steve picks up another graded win. He wins the swap stakes against Tiz Now and Space Link.
Fresh off a win in the Iowa Derby, Bob Baffert's Captain Steve makes it 2 in a row as he wins the swaps. The Kentucky-bred colt is owned by Kentucky Derby winning owner Mike Pegram, and was ridden by Corey Nakatani. He survived a stretch rally from Tiz Now. Space Link finished third. The $300,000 check brings Captain Steve's earnings to almost $1.5 million. When asked on our NTRA Racing to the Breeders' Cup show on Sunday where he's going next, Bob Baffert said Disneyland. Some speculation, though, thinks it might actually be the Jim Dandy. Now to the ladies in the Coaching Club American Oaks, a Grade 1 test for fillies going 1.5 miles on the dirt. Secret Status was the favorite, but she would get all she could handle from Resort and Jostle. Here's the call.
Pat Day has gone to the whip on Secret Status. She's still third. Holly Joe on the inside fourth. They're off the turn and into the stretch. It is Jostle trying to do it all the way on the lead. Resort has taken a bold run at her, but she's still running second. Secret Status is still third with a furlong to go. Jostle trying to pull it off here. Jostle leading by a length and a half, followed by Resort. Secret Status, not today. It's Jostle's day. And Mike Smith with a masterful front-running ride.
Jostle was able to control the pace and hold off Resort and Secret Status. She was ridden by Mike Smith and is trained by John Service for Fox Hill Farms. She wins $210,000 for her effort in the 1.5 mile Coaching Club American Oaks. Her winning time, 2:29.4. Her next start will probably be the Alabama at Saratoga on August 19th. Secret Status and Resort are also expected to be there. ESPN's presentation of National Car Rental Racehorse Digest is brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. By the American Quarter Horse Association, let freedom ride. And by the National Thoroughbred Racing Association, for cool racing stuff, go baby go to NTRA.com.
National Car Rental welcomes you and your family to a magical experience. The year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration. And as the official car rental company of the Walt Disney World Resort, National gets you to this unforgettable celebration fast. Don't miss this momentous occasion. Let's go to the Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration with National Car Rental.
Own a professional sports team at a bargain price. Get into American Quarter Horse Racing. Experience the excitement of your very own runner competing in your colors. Then invite your envious friends to join you in the winner's circle. Visit your star players anytime you like, and they'll never ask for a raise. So dig in, hang on, and let the dirt fly. The AQHA can get you started with free information. Call 1-800-414-RIDE.
On your scale from 1 to 10, how clean are your teeth right now? Want them cleaner? Get ready for a whole new level of clean. Introducing Advanced Cleaning from Crest Multicare. The best Crest ever at repelling stains, tartar buildup, and that filmy feeling. So your teeth feel slick and smooth. Your mouth feels cleaner long after you brush. And that's a feeling you can't measure. New Advanced Cleaning from Crest Multicare. Open up and smile.
One of the hardest things to do in all of sports is to win the Visa Triple Crown. To find a thoroughbred with enough discipline for the Derby, poise for the Preakness, and brute strength for the Belmont. It's hard to find a true champion, a horse with thunder in its stride and victory in its heart.
As hard as it is, it's not nearly as hard as getting into the Visa Triple Crown using American Express. Visa, proud sponsor and official card of the Visa Triple Crown.
Welcome back to National Car Rental Racehorse Digest. If you win in Dubai, you're going to be awfully hard to unseat from the top spot in our national horse standings. Dubai Millennium is still number 1. Fusaichi Pegasus number 2. Blue Ravi is currently 7th. She enjoyed the home track advantage in Delaware over the weekend, and that's where we start. Delaware Park for the Grade 3 $600,000 Delaware handicap just for fillies and mares. It was for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.25 miles. The favorite was 2-time Eclipse Award winner Silver Bullet Day. But also in the race, a mare that has beaten the Bob Baffert star before, Blue Ravi. Turned out to be quite a race. Here's the call.
This is Lou Robbie's race to win or lose as they turn for home. Lou Robbie and Silver Bullet, they are going to go at it. 2 lengths to Tap the Music, a threesome with a shot. A furlong to go. Lou Robbie is digging in and still leads it under Day. Silver Bullet Day is trying to go by. Tap the Music is kicking in on the far outside. A 16th, and Lou Robbie still going strong. Lou Robbie will win the Delaware handicap. Tap the Music a good second, and Silver Bullet Day back in third. Proud owner of for fourth.
Blue Robbie does it again. This time, she crosses the wire 3 lengths in front of the champion. This daughter of AP Indy returned $6.40 for the win. Stronach Stables Tap the Music was 1 length back in second. Blue Robbie is owned by Yoshio Fujita, trained by Carl Bowman, and ridden by Pap Day. This was one of 2 graded stakes wins for Day on this day at Delaware Park. Blue Robbie is expected to close out the year in the distaff at Churchill in November. Also at Delaware the day before, they ran the Grade 3 $250,000 Delaware Oaks for 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile and a 16th. A couple of shippers from Kentucky in here, including the favorite at 8-5 odds, Tripp, who is currently charging in the Claiborne Gold on the outside, but proved to be no match for the home girl, Sincerely. Sincerely edged away in the stretch and finished the mile and the 16th in a time of 1:43 4/5. Tripp finished 3/4 of a length back in second, and Valley Dar was third. For owner Larry Johnson and trainer Graham Motion, this victory in the Oaks fulfilled a primary summer goal. They knew that she had the advantage being stabled in Delaware. Sincerely was bred in Kentucky by John Crook and ridden by Mike McCarthy. She has won 6 of her 11 starts and earned $300,000. And now back to Hollywood Park and one of the co-features to the swaps, the $250,000 Sunset for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.5 miles on the turf. The favorite, Bienamato, charging on the outside and taking the lead.
Bienamato hits the front. Self-feeder back into second. Deploy Venture is making a quick move. He's moved from last to third. Now he's second, and he's right in the hip pocket of Bienamato as they come to the top of the stretch in the Sunset Handicap. Bienamato, Deploy Venture to the outside in second. Single Empire swings out in third. They straighten away. Bienamato still leads by 1/2 length. Deploy Venture all out to get after him. Single Empire comes down the center of the lane in third, but he's not making any headway on that leader. It's still Bienamato or Deploy Venture. Bienamato has the lead. Deploy Venture second after that Single Empire. It's Bienamato, and McCarron never flinched.
Jockey Chris McCarron guides the expected winner, Bienamato, across the wire in a time of 2:25 flat. Deploy Venture was 1.5 lengths back in second. An entry mate, Single Empire, was farther back in third. This son of Bien Bien is owned by Robert Sangster, John Toffin, and Trudy McCaffrey. Paco Gonzalez trains. Bienamato has won 4 of 9 starts and hopes to follow this performance by a start in the $2 million Arlington Million in Chicago next month. The 3-year-old fillies were also showcased the day before at Hollywood Park in the Grade 2 $150,000 Hollywood Oaks at 1 mile and an 1/8. A short field in here, including another horse owned by McCaffrey and Toffin, Kamari Continent, who went off as the 8-5 favorite, plus Queenie Belle and last year's Juvenile Fillies winner, Cash Run. Kamari Continent on the outside in the Gold Silks and Gold Shadow Roll finishes only a neck in front of Queenie Belle, with Saudi Poetry finishing 1.5 lengths further back. This must have been a prelude of things to come for Trudy McCaffrey, John Toffin, and Paco Gonzalez as they won a graded stakes double for the weekend. Jockey Kent DeSormo was in the irons. Kamari Continent has won 5 of her 7 starts and earned over $250,000. Cash Run finished 4th. She has been winless since March. And finally, a look at the juveniles in the Grade 3 $100,000 Hollywood Juvenile Championship. The 2-year-olds would be going 6 furlongs on the main track. Breaking from the outside post and leading all the way was the overwhelming 2-5 favorite, Squirtle Squirt, hailing from the Joe Garcia barn. After setting fractions of 21 4/5 and 44 4/5, Squirtle Squirt crosses the wire in a time of 1:09 4/5, sweeping the Hollywood Park trio of stakes for 2-year-old colts. This son of Marquetry is owned by David Landsman Racing and ridden by Lafitte Finkai Jr. Squirtle Squirt's next start will be in the $150,000 Best Pal Stakes on August 23rd at Del Mar. Still to come on the National Car Rental Racehorse Digest, the latest in American quarter horse racing, including the second jewel of their Triple Crown, the Rainbow Futurity.
Stop flats now. Betty has a flat tire but forgot her phone. Jim has the tools but doesn't know how. It doesn't have to be this way. Use Slime Tire Sealant to prevent and repair flat tires. Slime seals punctures like this. Yeah, it's that easy. Slime all your tires. Use it on bike and motorcycle tires. lawn and garden equipment, car and trailer tires. Get some today. If it isn't green, it isn't slime.
Every home and business depends on heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration equipment. Equipment that continually needs to be installed, serviced, and repaired.
We need good people with the skills and the ability to get the job done.
The opportunities have never been better for trained heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration technicians. Independence, good pay, and a career you can be proud of. To get started, call Dean Tech now at 531-4433. That's 531-4433.
Your TV, Mr. Brand?
I'm watching NBA Summer Hoops on ESPN. Hey, I played last year, and look what happened to me. The NBA Rookie of the Year.
Mr. Brand, I believe it was co-Rookie of the Year.
Whatever.
Welcome back to the Digest. Make a quick note. We'll be a little bit later next Wednesday. Your first chance to catch the Digest will not come until 3:30 Eastern. Our American Quarter Horse recap this week features a Triple Crown hopeful, several champions trying to maintain top form, and a gathering of the best older horses in the West. We'll begin at Ruidoso Downs for the $636,000 Rainbow Futurity, the second leg of the Quarter Horse Triple Crown. And this is Fightin' Jane, a $5,000 filly with a chance to become only the second Triple Crown winner in 37 years. Other to watch in this 400-yard classic are a pair of $25,000 supplements, Dust 'em Dusty and Feature Mr. Jess. Here's the call of the Rainbow Futurity.
And there they go in the Rainbow Futurity. Getting off to a bumpy start was Sweet Lily Rose. Going to the front, though. In the middle in the gold is Dust 'em Dusty. Along the rail, there's The Way You Want Me. And Feature Mr. Jess is putting in a power move down the middle. First Achievers in fourth. Down the line. First Feature Mr. Jess finishes first in the Rainbow Futurity.
Feature Mr. Jess makes short work of the Rainbow Field, beating Dust 'em Dusty by a length. 24-1 long shot. The Way You Want Me was third, while Fightin' Jane checked in seventh, ending her Triple Crown dream. Feature Mr. Jess had the slowest qualifying time, but was the only one to face a headwind on trial day. The son of Mr. Jess Perry is trained by Rodney Reed and ridden by Jackie Martin, who qualified both the first and second place finishers. Owner J.E. Jamonville and partners are now faced with another supplemental payment. This time it will cost $50,000 to make Feature Mr. Jess eligible for the $2 million All-American Futurity. Now to the $150,000 Rainbow Derby. 1999 champion 2-year-old A Delightful Dasher was the favorite, but watch out for Significant Speed.
And there they go. A Delightful Dasher did get away a step slowly. He's got his work cut out for him from here. Significant Speed is rolling on the front end. Has the lead by a half length. To the outside, there's Miss Taylor's Cash. And in the middle, Eye for the Six is running a big race. A Delightful Dasher trying to pick up ground, but it's going to be too late as Significant Speed has the lead and is in front. Significant Speed did win it over Awesome Form, a photo for third.
Significant Speed does something that she was never able to do as a 2-year-old, score a Grade 1 victory. The late running Awesome Form also turned in a good effort to get second place money. And there was disappointment for Delightful Dasher, who broke slowly and finished fourth. Significant Speed races for owner Gus Baracus and was ridden by Roy Baldier. Trainer Sleepy Gilbert recorded his 5th Rainbow Derby win and 2nd in a row. To Los Al now in the time trials for the Grade 1 Vessels Maturity. The first heat featured multiple champion Corona Cash facing up against Express King.
And away they go. And a beautiful start for Corona Cash. Rojo Dancer down along the inside. Express King on the extreme outside. As Corona Cash goes on powerfully, must be a length and a half in front of Rojo Dancer. Now Express King showing a good stride on the far outside, but Corona Cash, how good is this mare? She comes home easily over Express King and Rojo Dancer.
Corona Cash on cruise control for jockey Tammy Purcell as she scores her 2nd straight impressive win. The entry of Express King and Rojo Dancer picked up the pieces and earned qualifying spots as well. Corona Cash is trained by Donna MacArthur. She races in the colors of Henry Brown and appears to be ready to give her connections an outstanding 5-year-old season. Now to the 3rd Vessels trial with last year's Champion of Champions runner-up. He's My Dasher facing a rejuvenated A Ransom. Ed Burgard has the call.
And away they go. And a good start for A. Ransom. Medlin and Money also came away well with Claire Frutobi in first special dash. He's my dasher. He's really going to have to pick it up. A. Ransom has his mind on running, and so does Medlin and Money, and both go on powerfully. A. Ransom on the outside of Medlin and Money, but it's going to be A. Ransom a half length in front of Medlin and Money. Claire Frutobi third, and he's my dasher fourth.
Don't pay the ransom. A Ransom will pay it for you. It was his second blistering victory in 2 starts this year as A Ransom established the fastest qualifying time. Medlin and Money, Claire Frutobi, and fourth-place finisher He's My Dasher also earned a starting spot. There's a lot at stake in the July 21st vessel's maturity, including a berth in the $400,000 Champion of Champions. And the connections for A Ransom, including trainer Connie Hall and jockey Carlos Batista, wouldn't trade places with anyone. For more information about racing American quarter horse activities in your area, call the AQHA at 1-800-414-RIDE.
National Car Rental welcomes you and your family to a magical experience. The year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration. And as the official car rental company of the Walt Disney World Resort, National gets you to this unforgettable celebration fast. Don't miss this momentous occasion. Let's go to the Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration with National Car Rental.
Get the inside track on American quarter horse racing with the Quarter Racing Journal, the #1 magazine in the quarter horse racing industry. Every issue is packed with hard-hitting, in-depth features on quarter horse racing's winners and players on track and off. The most complete race coverage in the industry from coast to coast. Each month, the Quarter Racing Journal highlights the latest in news, training, and health. For only $25, receive 12 months of the Quarter Racing Journal. Call today, 1-800-291-7323.
The forces of nature are waging a war, and the target is your deck. But Thompson's will stop them, because when others fail, Thompson succeeds, protecting your deck like no other, guaranteed. Thompson's Wood Protector. It never takes a day off.
Everyday teenagers face things like drugs, relationships, and violence, with no idea where to turn for help. Well, here's a solution. The Boys Town National Hotline. You'll talk to someone who understands and can make a difference. 1-800-448-3000.
Welcome back to our weekly checkup on thoroughbred racing. The top owner in the country this week is Stronach Stable. Stronach already has $6 million in the bank. Samson Farm is currently number 4. It was a major player in Canada over the weekend. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Making a quick check on the upcoming Breeders' Cup National Stakes schedule, you'll find the $250,000 Monmouth Breeders' Cup Oaks in New Jersey and the $200,000 Philadelphia Park Breeders' Cup Handicap. The Oaks is Grade 2, the Handicap Grade 3. And now to the Midwest and racing from Arlington International Racecourse. It was the Grade 2 $250,000 Washington Park Handicap for horses 3 and up, going 1 1/8 on the main track. The favorite was Jerry Hollendorfer's Mulligullah, sent off at 8-5.
Blazing Sword's given up no ground. He's 5 from the lead, and Tucumán has been no factor as they come toward the top of the home stretch. 6 furlongs in 1, 11 and 4. 1.5 furlongs to go. Night Dreamer, and on the outside, Mulligullah, Larry Melanson, and Night Dreamer are Greyneck in front. Mark Guidry and Mulligullah running hard with a lone furlong to go. Jose Rivera at the rail with Blazing Sword firing through. Blazing Sword, Night Dreamer, Mulligullah, Blazing Sword up the rail to prevail on the Grade 2 Washington Park Handicap.
Blazing Sword crosses the wire a length in front to win the Washington Park Handicap. Owned by Stonehenge Farms and trained by Kathleen O'Connell, he returned $22.80 for the win. Blazing Sword has had a troubled career. He took ill after running second in the 1997 Fountain of Youth. He then broke his pelvis and missed 6 more months of training. After winning the Calder Derby in the fall of '97, he had been winless until January of this year. On Sunday at Fort Erie in Canada, it was the $283,000 Prince of Wales Stakes, the second leg of the Canadian Triple Crown for 3-year-olds. The 1-2 favorite, Scatter the Gold, rallies between horses to keep his Triple Crown hopes alive. A Canadian homebred from Sanson Farm is trained by Mark Frostad. He has now won the first 2 legs of the Canadian Triple Crown after breaking his maiden in the Queen's Plate. Over a fast track, he completed the race in a time of 1:56 under jockey Todd Cabell. For Our Sake, trained by Roger Atfield, grudgingly came home second, followed by Cool and Collected. Scatter the Gold, like his mother, appears to be on his way to winning the Canadian Triple Crown. He will try to capture the 3rd jewel a little bit later this summer. And finally, at Arlington International in Chicago, the Grade 2 $194,000 American Derby going a mile and a 16th on the turf. The favorite, a Carl Nafsker trainee, Boyum, went off at 6-5 odds, but would be no factor. It was 7-1 long shot Pine Dance on the rail, who had raced exclusively in Ireland prior to Sunday, who got the win in a time of 1:55.2. Racing on Lasix for the first time, Pine Dance sprinted away from the field, winning by 1.5 lengths at the wire. Him finished second, a neck in front of Del Mar Show, and Boyum came home last. Pine Dance is trained by Dermot Weld. For owners Highland Farms, Peter Wetzel, and 5-Star Racing, he was bred in Kentucky by Kevin Pipes. Next up for Pine Dance, the $400,000 Secretariat on August 19th.
The 28th running of the West Virginia Derby is Saturday, August 12th, and nominations are now being accepted. I'm Ted Arnaud, president of Mountaineer Racetrack and Gaming Resort, home of the West Virginia Derby. Be a part of the excitement as this year's Derby makes racing history with a guaranteed purse of $300,000. Nominations close soon with no provisions for late supplement, so you better enter early. The West Virginia Derby at Mountaineer Racetrack and Gaming Resort, almost a half a century old, and we're just hitting our stride.
I love seeing the kids. I'm going to count your teeth like this, like 1, 2. Dental Health Month involves the dentist going out into the community and doing screenings like we're doing here today. I think it is good for the press to be our partner to get this important message across the state of Georgia.
The Georgia Dental Association works with dentists throughout the whole state. We go out to schools, we go to malls. It's about making people smile.
Children's Dental Health Month is about creating a positive self-image. The greatest reward is for a child to smile.
It's going to be a good one.
Great Outdoor Games start July 27th on ESPN and ESPN2.
ESPN's presentation of National Car Rental Racehorse Digest is brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. By the American Quarter Horse Association. Let freedom ride. And by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Race results and related statistical information provided courtesy of Equibase Company, the Thoroughbred Industries official database for racing information. Quick check of the Visa 3-year-old series. Fusaichi Pegasus is still on top. A couple of prospective owners got their checkbooks out for the first phase of the dispersal sale of the 505 Farms. Millionaire Manastique was purchased by Aaron and Marie Jones for $3 million. The 5-year-old daughter of Unbridled earned $1.3 million while winning 11 of 15 starts. 3 of those were Grade 1s. In other news, champion steeplechase rider Jonathan Kaiser died Friday from injuries suffered in a fall at his home in Whiteford, Maryland. The 22-year-old Kaiser fell from a tree swing. He was the champion steeplechase rider for 1997 and 1999. It's a doubleheader weekend on NTRA Racing to the Breeders' Cup as we take advantage of both Saratoga and Del Mar opening race meets this week. We'll have the test at Saratoga on Saturday and the Eddie Reed at Del Mar on Sunday. Coming up next, American Quarter Horse Racing is the theme on GMC America's Horse. Sam Houston Race Park down in Houston is billed as the fastest growing track in the country. We'll check that out. Plus, we'll have some of the latest races in the MBNA America Racing Challenge Series. Hey, that's the Digest. Thanks for joining us. Chris Lincoln will be back next week. Until then, have a great week. Captain Steve was the headliner in our first NTRA Racing to the Breeders' Cup as he stopped Tiz Now to win the $500,000 Swap Stakes. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.